Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Living Your Purpose. We are so glad to have you here today, as we are every day. My name is Danielle K. Anderson, also known as Danielle the VP. I am an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, speaker, spiritual counselor, and coach, and it is my purpose to help people to look good, feel good, find, and walk in their own purpose. And my co-host today is every day,
every day, except one time. SJ from Inner Soul Development. I realize people like that, so I'm going to continue doing that.
I've been saying
Inner
for months.
Soul Development. That's right, Inner Soul Development. I'm a personal life coach and transformational speaker. What I do is I get you off your autopilot, take you off course to your greater self. I make sure you understand that life is to be controlled and that life should not control you, because it's amazing. So today we have another amazing show. We have interviews. We do a lot of interviews. Last year, we've been doing interviews, and the interviews that we have are so inspiring. They're so inspiring. So we really filter out who we really want to be on the show. And this person, which is already in the title, is that individual that is so inspiring. This person is always positive, always has a lot to say, but very transparent, but very humble, and just an all-around supporter of Living Your Purpose. She's part of our Living Your Purpose Facebook group. She also has her own, she's an entrepreneur, so she has her own little line, which she's going to probably tell you about that. But without further ado, we are going to introduce our guest. Can you please hop in the love seat? Xanadue. Hey.
Hi, y'all.
Welcome.
Up?
What's going on?
Oh my gosh, you look so pretty.
You look really nice, man.
Thank you very kindly. I do appreciate the compliments. Thank you. Anyway, it's good to see y'all.
I'm so glad to have you officially, like as a guest and everything.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited. Is it weird that I'm nervous?
No.
I mean,
weird. It's not necessary, but it's not weird. So, Xanadue.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us and anybody who may not know you? If anybody's on Blab right now and doesn't know Xanadue, first of all, what are you even doing? Okay, with your life. Secondly, but what do you do? Who are you?
What do? I do me. So, you know what? This is what's interesting, right? I think that since I've just begun this journey in my life of trying to become an entrepreneur and explore like my creative self and all that, I think there's a big emphasis on explaining who your brand is, right? What's your brand? And the more I'm hit with that question, I think the more I resist it, if that makes sense. But I will say that the way I would explain myself is, I'm around the way. I like to inspire people. What I do currently is I write a lot. I have my blog. It's over on my website. It's xanaduezone.com. I write quite a bit. I'm a YouTuber. First and foremost, I should have said mom first, because that's like takes precedence of everything. The mothers and fathers know. So that's my number one job. But aside from that, I'm really pretty creative. So I like to make YouTube videos, write a whole lot. I just recently launched a store, SJ, that you just mentioned a few minutes ago. And that's what I call Get It Zone. And basically in Get It Zone, I have different articles of clothing, right? That, I have these little kind of fresh one-liners. I have a sharp sense of humor. It's important for the people to know that too. But that's what my apparel has, like little one-liners from my type of Xanadueisms. Thank you, Mr. Kente. They are Xanadue. And then recently I have been trying my hand at podcasting. I have my own podcast right now, but I will now be co-hosting HME Radio with Mr. Keenan on Wednesdays.
Nice.
And
so, Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me give you the other thing that I'm really, really, really proud of. I'm also now, I've been working with the Carmen Online Theater Group, and what they do is they do audio theater. The producer and creator is Miss Leanne Moonraven, and she reached out to me like a long time ago, a few months back, and was like, you should kind of work with us. And I was like, oh my God. So if y'all can go to Carmen Online theater.com and check out some of their works. I'll be a little bit more active in that arena too.
Okay, so
Wow.
let me ask you this. Let's go back. Let's go back. First of all, we want to know where you're from. Where are you from originally, and where you are now? That's number one. And how did you get to where you are right now? Prior, like where did that change or that pivot come in, where you were just like, okay, I'm gonna do this? But first, I want to know where you're from first.
Well, I'm from Tejas. I've lived all over Texas. That's Texas for, that's the Espanol pronunciation. Y'all know I'm silly. Danielle and SJ know I'm silly for the audience.
Yeah.
So y'all got to bear with me. I like to play.
Yes.
But I'm from Texas. I've lived in Houston. I've lived in Dallas. I've lived in Austin. I've lived in San Antonio. I'm currently in Bakersfield. I moved out here about, I think it's about 5 years ago now. I've been here for a minute now. And I mean, your question is such a broad question. As far as what's led me to the path that I'm on now, I think that naturally I've always been kind of a rebel without a cause, right? So if you made a rule for me to follow, I wasn't gonna follow it, just because. You know what I'm saying? Just because.
Just because you said no, because
But also though, like even in my youth, I think I talk a lot about like even on my blog, I talk a lot about not trusting myself in my youth, right? And I think a lot of that comes from what we're conditioned to believe and what we're taught to believe. And then when I say that, I want to emphasize that I don't mean that in a negative way. I think most of us had parents who loved us, and they worked their butts off to get us to where we are. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a malicious attack or nothing on them. But when you start to kind of grow up and you look at society and some of the things and the structures that are in place, you be like, this don't make no sense. And I think a little bit of that has always been with me. But I want to say about a year ago is when I worked my last official job. I was going through a real, real rough time. Relationship stuff, life circumstances. I was in a major transition that was going on at the time. And I was working for a little local company, some people, and like it's a small company, right? And we worked in the building with the actual owner of the company. And the owner, like they were these people where they didn't want to make eye contact. Like, you know what I mean? And see, I'm from Texas. And so I don't know if anybody in here is from down south or any of the replay watchers. If y'all are from down south, we are chatty, honey. We will walk in and say, hello, how you doing?
Right.
People here are not really, they not with that. Like, I don't know if it's a California thing. I don't know if it's maybe just where I am kind of thing, but people were like, oh my God. And so I was offended by that. Like that was just one thing for me. That was like the straw. Let me tell you the straw that broke the camel's back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell y'all the straw that broke the camel's back. So I'm working for this company, small company, telemarketing. We were doing like surveys or something like on the phone. So I'm on the phone. I already hate the job, don't want to be there, I'm sick of it anyway. Then I don't like the boss people because of the way they act and, they got attitudes. Then I'm one of only 2 black ladies in the whole building. And so that feels a little weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One day I bought a purse and I'm already fed up, right? I think the straw that broke the camel's back for me was I was walking around the corner of one of the cubicles and I scratched my purse. And it scratched a little leather off. I said, you know what? Bump this mess. I'm out of here. I quit. I'm leaving.
That was it.
That was it. But
that is okay.
But that was after all of the buildup, right? This is from years of me being in the working industry. I've always had jobs. I've been working since I was like 17 on somebody's payroll. So it's not like I've just sat back and kicked it and was like, I don't want to do that. You know, it was just all of these different elements that built up for me. And I don't know. I just feel like people, you know, I've always been creative. I've always written a lot. I have journals and journals of like, you know, the notebooks you get for 10 cents at the Target.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. The collection is healthy. I have a collection of stuff I've just been writing for years and years. So I've always had that side of myself, but I ain't never trusted it. And I sure have never had the encouragement to be like, you know, you should pursue writing or you should pursue I feel like I'm talking too much. Somebody ask me another question, please.
No, you're not.
No.
This is
okay, Xanadue, listen. This is a talk show. What we do here is we talk. We have conversations. And the point is for you to tell your story. So, you know, you're actually doing well.
Okay.
Doing well.
This is a very long story, though. I'm sure y'all gather.
We got an hour. Let's go.
Be good.
Yeah. But to sum it up, that's basically what led me on the path of, and I've always been like savvy with computers. You know, I bought a computer, I don't know, in like 2006 or something at a pawn shop for $200. Got it home and it didn't work. Then I called the Dell people and was like, this computer ain't working. And so they taught me how to like reformat my hard drive. So I've always been able to kind of like pick things apart, and I've always been in technology on my own little level, never been like officially trained or nothing. And so I was like, you know what? I don't like Facebook. Well, it's not that I don't like it, but I don't depend on Facebook. Like I've been locked out of Facebook, and you know, those platforms can shut down at any time. So I was like, I should have my own website. So then I had to then learn how to build my own website. I accidentally built a whole hosting space. I paid for hosting and didn't even know what I was buying. It was a mess. But I learned it. It taught me I'm going the right way.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good. It's all about learning. So, I want to know a little bit more background. Like, what was it like for you growing up? You say you moved around a lot in Texas, so. So give us a little bit more about that. Like what kind of stuff did you do when you were a kid and that kind of thing?
I don't really know what reason we moved around a lot. I will say that I'm an only child to a single parent. And my mama worked a lot. She always kept a job and stuff. And I think the moving was usually based on convenience. You know what I'm saying? And like, it wasn't 10 of us. So, you know, we could say, okay, let's hit it. You know what I mean? I think that had a lot to do with how I am now. I don't know, because I can see how that will make some kids introverted. I don't know. I've just always been what's interesting is that I'm extroverted here, like online, and then I don't talk in public. Like none of these people where I live, they don't know me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It was weird. I don't know. It's weird. But as a kid, like I've always been able to kind of blend in and, you know, kind of make my way around. And I had some horrific experiences as a child, but I don't think nothing out of the ordinary, or, you know what I'm saying, what anybody else didn't experience.
And how'd you get through that?
I mean, you
were the only child. So did you have any like point of reference to like to get, you know, your sanity? Because like I said, you know, you were the only child, so there's nobody behind you, no other siblings that you can actually lean on. So what did you use to be able to get through those rough times?
Imagination, man. I was a beast. I've always been creative. When I was a kid, I was a beast. You'd come in my room and it'd be a wonderland in there. I'd have blankets curled up in the corner. I'd have people standing on the, like, I've always been okay, you know. And I think that's something that was kind of natural within me. Like, I feel like even if I had siblings, I would have been all right playing by myself. Like, I might have been the sister that was like doing her own thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I just have always been okay by myself. I think there were hard parts for me, one of the harder parts was that my mom was real protective of me. And I'm actually, it's interesting now as I parent my son, I get it a little bit more. But as a kid, I think that a big part of that had to do with the fact that she did not trust me with other people. She did not trust me with other people. So it was kind of, for me, it was one of them things where you do what you have to do. You make the best of it. I didn't spend a whole lot of time crying about it then. I'm sure I could be sad about it now and be like, oh my God, my childhood, but I just kept playing.
So basically you saw the positive, you basically kind of like suppress the negative, and like what's in the top of that, the iceberg is that positive, that you just try to find a positive in any situation, which is good, which is a good thing. And instead, because a lot of people, they drown their sorrows into what the negative was. They don't see the positive in it. And the imagination is awesome because of the fact that you were able to create early in life and know that you can use that to just make your way around things and
you escape just to not be there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go play, and I'm not there no more. Mm-hmm. Wow. I think that's a natural. I think that's a natural ability of children, though. Kids are really resilient. Can I give you a real good example that I trip off of even now? Right? Let's say you go to the DMV, or you go somewhere where adults hate to be. What are the kids doing?
Playing,
jumping around, running.
Right. So I think it's an innate ability for kids. Babies don't know no better. They see something, it's not comfortable, then they do something else. It's just an instinct for them. And so I guess that's really what it was for me as a kid. I lost some of that as I grew, I will admit. But, as a kid, I didn't really have no real hard time.
Well, that's good. That's blessed life then. Because a lot of people can't say that, because we have, as kids, when we're running around and jumping on things, we're told to sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you learn how to act in public and all that so that you don't work people's nerves. And then we just feel like that's how we're supposed to be all the time.
That's true.
People get lost and they start getting angry and their creativity is lost because they feel like they've been stifled.
Mm-hmm.
So they, you jumping off of something with a blanket on, and they say stop jumping on my furniture. You can't be Superman anymore. You know what I mean? So I get it. So it's wonderful that you were able to hold on to your creativity as a child as long as you were. Was that do you feel like it was by your mom? You said she worked a lot, and I get that. Do you think that your creativity and your energy was encouraged by her? Like, did she support your creativity?
That's a good question. Not necessarily. What I would say this: I have always kind of left to be who I'm going to become.
Okay.
If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So there wasn't a lot of nurturing and maybe you should do this or maybe you should do that, or I encourage you to do this. She was working and busy, and if I had a journal, she didn't mind. It's weird because we had our own little worlds in the same house. Never talked against it, against creativity, or tried to talk me out of it or nothing. But I think it kept me out of her hair. So then why would she? You know what I'm saying?
As long as you ain't burning her house down.
Right.
That's fair.
So did you have
she
that?
Never told you not to.
So did you have that connection with your mom? Were you guys really close? Were you guys because you're the only child, so she was very, very overprotective of you as you are with your son right now. So let's talk about the trust. Like you said, there's trust within. So you say there's trust that you have issues with as far as that. So how do you gel amongst people around you in your circle? Do you gel well, or is it that trust issue or something where you can't gel really well with other individuals?
I think I gel well on a surface level. I can talk to you all day about many topics for many, many months and years, and you'll never know nothing about me. Did that make sense?
Yes, that's why we have you on today.
Right. So I don't do the intimacy thing with everybody. I don't do the intimacy thing with hardly anybody. I don't think I do that with anybody, which is epiphany. But yeah. So I gel well. Like you can put me in any room or situation, and I'm able to get along with people. But they'll never know if I'm in a relationship. They'll never know how old I am. They'll never know where I went to school. They'll never, you know what I'm saying?
And you hide that because
I don't hide it, but I don't think it's everybody's business. I don't think intimacy loses its value if you give it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth nothing if it's worth. That's the same reason people don't really put too much value in those folks who are very sexually expressive. Not to say there's anything wrong with it, but they figure it's not valuable to you, then it's not valuable to me. You know what I mean? And I don't even trust people. I think sometimes too, you never know what people's intentions are. And I don't care how hard people smile. I don't care how softly they speak. You never really know what people's intentions are. So, you know, you have to just judge me on my surface level or my Facebook posts.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do that. Don't judge her by her Facebook post, please. She's so much not the same. Not all of them anyway. Some of them are hilarious. But okay, so I have a question. How old are you? Where did you go to school? Kidding. She's like, I see what you did there, Danielle. Okay, you're not funny.
She flipped it on me. Okay.
You're not funny. I thought maybe I'd give it a shot. So tell me more about your blog and YouTube. What do you do there? What do you talk about?
I talk about a little bit of everything. I think on YouTube, I was going to say I'm a little more controversial probably on YouTube, like I am like on here on Blab and stuff, you know. But that may not necessarily be true. I think I'm just real. It's, you know, it's easier to communicate to people when they can see you on video in general. So I'm going to retract that, and I'll actually just say that my blog, I think the writing for me is my much more serious side, right? Like when I'm talking and I'm on camera, like I'm goofy and I turn it on. But when you read my blog, like you can really kind of, now that's where you may get the most intimacy you're going to get from me is going to probably be on Xanadue Zone. Because I go in sometime. Like I get, you know, I get personal on there sometime. And that's with a lot of different things. I like to motivate people, but not in a traditional sense. You know, y'all know we talking about this on Kente's show Friday. There's a plethora of the life coaches, and like I said before, I'm from round the way, right? And I would much rather walk with you than try to tell you where you need to be walking to. That's the position I see myself in when it comes to other people that, you know, maybe they can't really express themselves, or, you know, maybe they don't even know something is wrong, but they just don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Because I talk to people all the time that relate to stuff that I say, but they don't say anything on, like they won't put anything on my Facebook and they won't comment on the blog post, but then they'll send me an inbox like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what I'm here for. Now, we're still working on how to monetize that. So if anyone has any suggestions.
But give yourself a title.
A title? I'm a Xanadue. That's my title.
So what is a Xanadue? I asked you this before. What is a Xanadue? I'm a Xanadue.
Oh, man. I don't know. I'm me. I'm me. I'm an everyday person. And I think I observe a lot, pay attention a lot. I do like to keep things light, though. I think it's important to stay light. You get too heavy, that can really... I've had some very dark spots in my past. I was listening to you talking, Danielle, the other day about being a dark... not being a dark person, but just like you have like a stretch of life where you just... You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It just will be just a small, you know, I've definitely experienced stuff like that. And I don't think there's no one word to sum that up. I don't know if I have the proper branding title to accommodate what I think I am. I'm just who I am. And, you know, some people appreciate it, and I'm humbled, and I love it, and I think it's beautiful. But, you know, I don't have no official title. You know, I'm a Xanadue.
So I can't work on that.
Right. So you said that because people on this show, you know, are going through dark times too, and they may be right in the middle of the darkness. So what do you say to those people that are going through it, and how did you get through that dark period? Like, what did you do? Like, what routine? Like, what can they derive from? Because, like I said, they could be right in the middle of the darkness and just watching the show right now. What would you tell them? How did you go through it?
I think it depends on the source of the darkness, because you're going to handle a breakup differently than you'll handle being molested. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the source of where the darkness is coming from. I mean, I guess the bottom line is to reach out and, you know, talk to somebody. And I highly suggest people talk to people that don't know. You know, I'm not a big fan of talking to my peoples and my friends, and I don't like to do all that, because that can sometimes come back to haunt you. And that's why some people stay so bottled up. But you got to get it out. And if you don't want to talk, you know, write it down. If you don't want to write it down, turn on some music and dance it out. Roll on the floor, scream, do something, you know. But you got to let that out. You got to get it out of there, because it'll kill you. It'll kill you. It really will.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah,
it's good to talk to people. I think that's why coaching and counseling, the taboos are being lifted more nowadays, because it's better sometimes to speak with someone who doesn't have a vested interest in what's going on in your life.
And so, with that being said, like, now that you have a son, only child, right? How do you
put them eyes back?
Huh?
You didn't see what her eyes just did.
Oh yeah.
That's the face of a mother of a boy.
Yeah. Right. So now, how do you use your mom's training and inculcate that with your son?
Oh,
being overprotective.
It's night and day. Now, I will say that is the only similarity that we have when it comes to parenting styles. I am completely different. We have many debates, like heated debates, over certain values that I hold for my son. I'm completely different. I have no faith in our public school systems, and I acted on it. I will say again that we are similar in the fact of where, you know, there's a lot going on in the world today. And it's probably always been going on, but because of the news and the blabs and the YouTubes and the new, you know, all these people touching these children. I will say that I have experienced something to that effect in my childhood when I was really small. I was probably like 5 or something. The mere idea of somebody touching my child, that sends me to a really dark place. And I would probably, I don't know if y'all know who Ellie Nestler is, but I would probably be Ellie Nestler. And I just rather not play those games. You know, I can be a little rough around the edges, but y'all know I don't like conflict. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do all that, you know, I'd rather not. So I think we have to be really, really careful with our children. And I hope that doesn't backfire on him later on in life, but I'm real funny. That's the only similarity that I have as far as parenting styles with my mom.
So how would you describe the relationship that you have with your son?
Mm-hmm.
I would say we are very close. My whole thing, and one reason it was important for me to kind of strike out and at least give my own path a try. Oh God, I'm tearing up, Danielle.
I told you.
There we go.
It's okay.
No, girl, my lashes are sensitive. I can't be doing all of it.
You gotta use waterproof mascara when you come on here.
Yes.
Am I right? We're gonna push. We're gonna push through.
That's right.
You got it.
That's right.
What I was gonna say is
your relationship with your son. You say you close?
Take your time.
We're very close. And one reason it's important for me to strike out and do my own thing and create my own name and my own legacy. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I've told people before, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You hear me? Because that's who I am. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Right on.
Right on.
He is a man. But he's a major motivation for me to do that. It's really important. One of the things that's most important to me is that my kid watch me come from not a damn thing. Excuse my French. I'm not gonna say no more cuss words until the recording stops.
You're fine.
But
I can edit it.
You know,
I have bleeps. It's fine.
But it's really, really, really important to me. We are very close. We talk all the time. He understands why I removed him from the public school system. I've left the door open to him, and I've always said that I'm not doing nothing to hurt you. So if you feel like you would rather do that, you can. You know, I try to keep the door open so that he's able to express how he feels to me, because he's a kid, but he has his feelings. You know what I'm saying? And he's growing, so he's going to start to feel more and think more, and he's very analytical as it is now. So I always try to keep that door open. But it is very important. I talk to my son all the time about making your own way. If I knew that when I was 20, my life would be so different. And I'm okay with my life now. You know what I'm saying? Because it is what it is. And that's what we're here for, is to learn. But if I knew the stuff that I've been able to learn in the last year when I was 22, she would be unstoppable. Do you hear me? And so that's important for me when it comes to my son. I want him to understand that. I want him to see that. I want him to watch me do it. Even though I did it a little later, I want him to say, damn, my mama did this and she did that. And it was crazy. And I was hungry some days, but she did it. You know what I'm saying? That's crucial to me. That is so crucial to me.
So everyone, if you're just joining us, welcome back to Living Your Purpose, or for the first time, welcome. We are talking with Xanadue. We're so glad that she agreed to come and say, talk about herself a little bit. I am Danielle K. Anderson, also known as Danielle the VP. I'm an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, spiritual counselor, life coach, and speaker. And it is my purpose to help people to look good, feel good, fine, and walk in their purpose. And my co-host is
SJ from Inner Soul Development. Inner Soul Development. That's right. I am a personal life coach and transformational speaker. And what I do is I help you get off your autopilot, take you off course to your greatest self. It is a pleasure to have Xanadue here speaking regarding her life and how she pushed through those dark times. Because, you know, when people are watching from around the world, and
no pressure,
but you are definitely an inspiration. No matter what you think, you are definitely an inspiration, and I think that's why people gel to you. And I think that's why people want to know your story, because you have a lot to say. A lot of that is suppressed. I see it already. But a lot of it is what you're able to tell us. And what you're able to tell us is enough for us to be able to enjoy and be inspired by you. And I know once you dig deep more inside yourself, you'll be able to tell more. But that's going to come in drips and drabs.
So if you all are new, if anybody is new to Living Your Purpose, you can learn more about us at our website at lypshow.com. There you can usually watch us live or catch a replay of the show if you happen to miss it. We have our full archives available on YouTube and SoundCloud. We are also on Instagram, Twitter. We have a Facebook community, Google Plus, LinkedIn. We are everywhere, because as SJ says, this is needed everywhere. You can, if you want more information about us or want to have us speak or coach, then you can definitely contact us at livingyourpurposenow@yahoo.com. Or if you go to the website and click connect, you can fill in the information form and get in touch with us that way. Or any of the social medias, you can contact us there as well. I think I covered everything. So back to the program. So where are we? Oh, you know what I want to do? If you're comfortable, Xanadue, I want to open up the love seats for
Love
anybody
seats.
who may want to come in and ask questions. Are your gut feeling
You know,
questions?
I talk to the people. I like talking to the people. This is cool.
She loves talking to the people. So if you have any questions for Xanadue, of course, if you're not comfortable coming on camera, please do type it in the chat. But if not, please do come into the love seat. A love seat is for two. We have one open, so come on, have a seat.
Exactly. I have unlocked it now.
It is available. Oh gosh, I don't know where to go because see, I want to go there, but I don't want to make you cry no more. Yes, Xanadue, you have a question?
I thought Mr. SJ was going to grill me on the lab that he witnessed a few months ago.
Ooh, which one?
I
want to know.
Which one?
Yeah, I thought you were there.
I don't know. I may have been. Why don't you just share then, since we just talked?
Yes, share.
What happened? Who did it?
Never mind. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even said anything.
Were you showing off? Was somebody showing off?
No, ma'am, not me. No, okay. No. Remember, SJ, when you came in that blab and you were talking like you were so shocked after you saw those pictures of me?
Oh yes, and I said yes. Okay, so let's talk about that.
I thought you would be like this. So.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I don't know if you want to talk about it. I'm not too sure if that's
apparently
what you
she
want.
did.
Okay, apparently
she did. That's what I was like.
So, okay, there was I would say a phase in your life, and I want to find out whether or not talk about that phase. Talk about that journey. There's a journey that you went through at one point, and there was some type of pivot or shift that you went through. Like, tell us about that period with those pictures. What were you going through at that time? What were you thinking at that time? What were you,
Okay, first of all,
inspired at that time?
I have to know before you answer that. What are these pictures?
Yeah, I was naked or nothing.
Okay.
But I was no, it wasn't like that. I was studied out, as they would say, in the LGBT community.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think I was thinking at that point. I had been in the game for like 8 or 9 years, like, you know what I mean. So I wasn't going through anything in particular at that time. I just thought I was cute. But oh God, that's a long explanation too. I think that okay. I think that because of our backgrounds, I don't want to make this about race, so I'm not going to say that. But I will say that, women are taught to be strong and independent and go for the gusto and do it on your own because you can and all this stuff, I think that can be misinterpreted by a lot of little girls. I knew a lot of grown girls who apparently didn't get the message the right way. And I will say that I fell into that statistic, like, for real. That was a relationship. Well, at that point, we were on the in-between, in and outs thing. But that relationship lasted for about 13 years. It was with a female, which ironically is one of the greatest examples of love that I have ever known and that I will probably ever know. Very real and honest with you. That devotion level. Listen, it got pretty nasty at times, but that is I know what I think I understand what unconditional love look like, if that makes sense. Also, though, what I do understand is that I think that, and it doesn't really necessarily have a lot to me, homosexuality to me has nothing to do with who you like to get it on with, right? People, let's say you're not homosexual, right? But you like to do it with brooms. right? We don't have a title. But, you know what I'm
Yes, we
saying?
do. It's called nasty. But no, stop.
That's judgmental, Miss Danielle. You're being judgmental.
Sorry.
Well, no,
Look, whatever makes you happy. It's just my opinion.
right.
Yo, let me choke. Like, go ahead.
No, well, I'm just saying, like, I think that's so. It's so
Grooves? Really?
okay. It's all right. People do what they like to do.
Go ahead.
Fun or feel good or whatever, right? But I think it's something wrong now. We're looking at our communities, and they're making all these bills and passing all these laws, and like for gay families and gay rights, and I'm not mad at it. Like I would, I'd be ultimate hypocrite of the century if I was like, no. But I think it's just such a waste of energy and such a waste of time when we should spend more time trying to teach kids how to have families, right? How to keep their families together. We should teach girls that they're not supposed to be the man. You're not supposed to be the man, baby. You're not supposed to do that. That's not your job. Originally, that wasn't your job. A lot of us are in situations where we have to do it.
You
mean
as far as taking over the role of being protector, provider, and
right.
I got this. Okay, I see what you're
saying. Right. Yeah, and we can't step into the male role or the father role. But that LGBT community is something else, honey. These studs think they men. They think they daddies. I knew chicks that had kids calling they studs daddy and papa, and just and I don't judge. Well, I do judge. If it's bull, it's bull, and I'll just be like, y'all tripping. But I try not to make them feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we all are where we are for a reason, and some of us, that's just where we at. You know what I'm saying? But I started looking at that, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like that's crazy to me. Like that's crazy to me. Things are so jumbled up and mixed up, and I don't know. It's weird. But I will say that I would not change that relationship for nothing. I wouldn't not have gone through that. I might not know what I'm supposed to see in love if I didn't experience that. But I just, I don't want no.
That was a part of your experience.
Yeah,
and that made you that experience made you understand what love is about, how to have that feeling, and that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. I think you being open-minded to that is a good thing, because sometimes we limit ourselves when it comes to who we love, and we think that it's about a manual. I think our mind is not to be it doesn't have a manual. It doesn't have a manual. So that's good that you were able to travel there and have good experience with it. It's a beautiful thing. And then you could also train your children to love and to be accepted, and to you can help somebody that's going through it right now. Somebody asked a question: are you approachable? Do you consider yourself approachable?
Depends on how sensitive you are. I mean, my answer would be yes, but I can very clearly see how somebody else would be like, you know what I'm saying? Like I understand. I could understand how people would have that perception of me. But anybody who does like reach out and talk, I talk back. Y'all know, I think.
Okay.
What do y'all think I'm approachable?
I think you're approachable for sure. You give off a vibe of, hey, what's up? Let's talk about something. But I think that some people who do not appreciate your energy or understand your energy may back off quickly because they're not. You have to, and that's fine. That's fine, because you are not for everybody, and that's okay. You are who you are, but it's like I said before, you're very unique, and I love that about you. You can come on strong, and it's not a secret. Xanadue says what she thinks, how she thinks it, and there's very little hesitation when she does it. But at the same time, you're very open and very humble and willing to learn, and that's another thing that I really appreciate about you.
Yeah,
You may have a very strong opinion about something,
Thank
but
you.
if you
Yeah.
have a question, you're gonna ask it, and if
Yeah.
you don't understand, you're gonna say, "I don't get it,"
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't.
right, right. I agree with that 100%. I think that you question everything that comes your way, meaning that no one could say something and you're gonna say, yeah, I accept that okay, but no, you're kind of a person that says, let me dissect that what you just said. Let me go back and let me dissect what you're just saying so that I'm for sure to say and agree with you. Like, and most people should be that way. Most people should be that way. They should question what it is that is being presented. And a lot of people don't question, they just let it go right through the subconscious and they act upon it. So you don't do that. You
Or
allow
don't,
your conscious,
or they just
huh?
block it off, or they block it off and don't think about it at all.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So
One way or
it's
the
what
really
other.
I
good
had
to
too.
question. It's really good to question your belief system. What's being presented. It's always good to do that because you're being authentic in that way, and you're not being a follower. And because this journey is your own. So when
Yeah,
you do this journey, you must question what's being presented to you all the time. You have to dissect it like a scientist
you do.
because it's very important for you not to be drawn through negativity and crap.
You know what? That's another
I love how
important
he was so
thing.
eloquent and stuff, and then said, "Crap."
Crap.
I love us
But
here.
you know what? I think that's another thing too that I think I kind of try to shy away from, like when it comes to the new age positivity talk, is the shoulds and the woulds and this and that. The more than anything, like I think people need to understand that it's a place for everybody. And I don't know. I was having this discussion with somebody the other day, and we were talking about I forgot what we were saying exactly, but essentially what we were saying was that we were talking about pastors of the mega churches, right? They have these mega churches and they get paid all these millions of dollars every year or whatever it is, and Creflo got a plane bought for him and all that. And instantly I think our reaction is, oh well, that's wrong, and how could he abuse those people? And listen, Mr. Creflo found his calling. You understand me?
It's in his
He
name.
found his place where he could stand and say, you know what, y'all? I need a jet. And they bought him a jet. It's hard for me to be mad at that. And I say that to say that not everybody is meant to be leaders. Some people don't want to think too hard. Some people, they just would rather not, they leave the thinking to us. And I think that's okay. Like, I don't be wanting people to feel bad about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel comfortable doing that myself. But I don't be wanting, that's goes to the are you approachable thing, Danielle. Like, I try to, I know I'm a little rah. So I really do try to, like, little things like that. I try to make sure that people don't feel like attacked by me just instantly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think people should do anything other than what they feel like they need to be doing. And if you want to follow me and pass me your bank account information, I'm not mad at it. Not angry at all. You see. So
You have a PayPal link you want to drop in the chat, just in case.
All right, so Zed, Will has a question. Okay, he said, "When do you feel you made?" And it's kind of like what I asked you earlier. That was kind of broad. When do you feel you made the shift to really look at your life with more of a critical eye and form your own perspective? Was it after your son or was it before your son?
Ain't no one moment. I will say, I think it's fair to say that I started looking at life a little more, critically after my baby was born. Mm-hmm. But there have been multiple little milestones where I would bump up against something like, oh, darn, that didn't feel good, or maybe I shouldn't have did that. I've had some pretty life-threatening type of thing. You also, when you face your mortality, I think that has a way of, waking you up too.
Oh
yeah. But I can't say that there's been any one definitive moment. It's been a collection of all of the everything. And then I'm the type of person where, y'all know, I like to sit in my tub. Okay. I like to relax and sit in my tub and read magazines and be on my phone. And sometimes those are the aha moments for me, where I'm just thinking about something that happened 3 years ago, and I think, damn, that must be why that happened. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of those type of moments. A lot of them. Is that weird?
And you know what? Those moments are meditation moments. You don't even know it. You just meditate it.
Right
on.
You
don't even realize.
Right on.
So, right. So those are. So it doesn't have to be traditional. And Danielle K. Anderson will send you something regarding that very soon. But your meditating is very important, and that is meditating. When you get an aha moment and you come into yourself, you are meditating in your bath, having that moment of thinking about having things connect, because what you're doing is you're connecting the dots, right? So that's what it is. Now you were talking about. We need to open this up. There's a lot of things you're saying that's subliminal. I want to know what you said. You faced more a situation of life threatening. What was that? Because people go through it. I want people to know that you went through.
I am a statistic of the hoods. You all, you see.
Okay.
And I think that a lot of times with people in my demographic, I think success is promoted to us in faulty way. You either drug deal, or you're a hoe, or you do anything other than go to the university and get you a corporate job. Even now, you poop on that kind of thing. But I will say that I have hustled before, and I did okay at it. And people did not like that, and it scared me, right? So it wasn't even like, I'm out, woo, woo, woo. No, I was like, you know what? I know I talk loud and real rough, but I don't like getting shot at and shit. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Right.
And it got really, really, really real for me at one point. And it scared me. It scared me.
It's understandable.
Oh, yeah.
It's understandable.
Wow.
But the beauty of it is that I'm sure you learned a lot about life, business, and how to interact with people or how not to. And you made it out for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can take those experiences, for better or worse, and use them to your advantage.
And teach your son.
Yeah.
And that's a moment.
I think that, like, even after that happened, it's levels to that. Like y'all just said, I'm processing what y'all were saying. I'm sorry. I was like thinking real, like my mind. I think the way I see that now, and that's another thing that I like to try to. I would like for my aim to be to motivate people where I'm from. Right, we got all of Lisa Nichols, we got all of the Rhonda Burns, we got all of the chicks, we got the Canfields, we got all these cats that go have these multi-million-dollar seminars, and they go and stand up and they talk to these people and they read them quotes and stuff, and they are moved and they pay their $150,000, and then they go home and then their life change, whatever. There are so many people, so many of my folks. Right. And I don't even do the whole, I can't even say that I do the whole black advocate thing, because I try to shy away from being a part of anything. Right. Like I told y'all before, if you give me a rule to follow, I'm going with it. So I can't join your club, you see. But the reality for me, though, is that there are so many people on a low level who don't know what kind of power they have. Like if they just thought a little different, if they saw something different. For a lot of us, it's seeing is believing. I was like that. Like I can't even sit here and act like I was just like, I was the smart girl. I knew I'd be successful. And I can't say that. You know what I'm talking about? I cannot do that. The real is I was doing what everybody else was doing. And some people don't get a chance to walk away from it. Like some people lose their mamas and their daddies. Whether they dead, whether they locked up. Like people go off of what they see. And I think that that's one thing that I hold kind of close to my heart. I remember telling somebody about that few months ago when they were like, well, what's your brand? And I was like, well, when to motivate folks, they can do better. They were like, no, you don't want to worry about that because they ain't got no money for you.
Stop it.
Ain't that the world? That's the world we live in. You hear me? So that's why I refuse to give myself a brand. That's why I refuse to try to tell you, well, this is what I can tell you what I do, but I know what I want to do too. And it might not necessarily have a particular dollar sign, or it's a lot of work to do. So I'm just gonna try to get in where I can fit in. But there's so many babies and kids, y'all, that ain't got nobody to teach them. They don't know.
Right.
I hope that some kind of way I can touch a whole lot of them, and they'd be like, that's what's up. Like maybe I can do something a little different than that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to die or lose your foot to change your life.
Right.
Do that now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyway.
That just. Oh my goodness! Some people. This goes back to something that when we were on Kente show the other day. Some people in positions of being able to help people just don't, and they're more concerned about monetizing than they are about actually helping, and that makes me sad. And the thing is, with all the stuff that you do, you can monetize all of that so that it can fund you being able to help the people that don't have the money. So don't ever, please, if you hear some stuff like that, don't
it ain't my style. That was the statement, Danielle, that made me say, you ain't gonna never get me to just brand. What do you do? What value do you provide? I provide me. I'm the value. You hear me? And if you can't get with that, I understand it. I'm not gonna fight you on it. I'm not gonna try to convince you of it. If you don't believe it, that's all right. Mm-hmm. But I think, a lot of that's just with anything. We get caught up and we get focused on the wrong thing, and then we end up losing our original intention. And if your intention is to be a life coach, so you can have a seminar in the Bahamas that lasts for 2 weeks, and then the people pay you $5,000, I am not mad at that. I think that's brilliant. If you can convince people to do that, I say go for it. If you need a keynote speaker, I'll talk for 5 minutes because I don't.
You can introduce somebody.
I don't knock nobody's hustle. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't knock anybody's hustle. I don't want to attack anybody. But when he told me that, it made my stomach. You know how you've been drinking all night and you wake up the next morning and you're not quite nauseous, but you can feel your stomach do that little turn. I was just like, wow.
It makes me sad because we're like running out of time. We're technically overtime right now, but it's all good. Our interviews,
overtime?
Yeah, but you know what? Our interviews tend to go a little bit longer because we don't want to, stifle you or anything like that.
So before we even exit, I want to know, because I see that you are what I'm getting is that you're on your journey and you're not quite set as to what it is that you really want to do, but you're destined to do something.
No, and I know what I want to do. I know exactly what I want to do.
So what is it that you want to do? And I want you to explain to the people what it is that you already got coming out, and just explain to the people exactly what you got going.
Okay. Now, what I was going to say is I know what I want to do. I know exactly what I want to do.
Okay. What do you want to do?
But some of those things I'm not going to share publicly because I do believe that you can sometimes jinx yourself, or someone with more access can jump on your ship before you can, I just don't get intimate with everybody. You dig?
Okay.
But as far as what I do now, like, when we opened up the show, that's what I was saying now. Really, my main goal right now is to create an online presence, right? So people know who I am and what I'm talking about. That's my goal right now, podcasting, the YouTubing I'm kind of falling back on. Really, more than anything, if people want to know me, I would say join Facebook. But if you know me on my Facebook, I don't know. But if you want to know me, the best way to do that is to go to xanaduezone.com. Like, that's where I give you what you're going to get as far as who I am as an individual. But I think my goal here is to uplift people. But I always like to say that I want to be the person that inspire people out there. Not even inspire, but I be wanting people out there that think nobody give a shit. That, like, somebody out here give Like that's it. That's all. Right? If I'm going down the street and you laid out in front of the Little Caesars, my son, that's another important thing I teach my child every day, every single day. If we go somewhere and somebody is standing in the corner and they need $1, I'm getting to the point now he's big enough where I'll give him $1. I say, go ahead and do the $1. And then we talk about it. And I'm very clear. You cannot make friends with all of these people. You cannot take these people to your home and your house because they ain't got nowhere to sleep at. But you can buy that man a chicken sandwich because you might need a chicken sandwich one day, baby. Don't be so tight where you scared to give up chicken sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Because but it's real out here, and that's who I want to be. And as I do progress in my other endeavors, then maybe I'll gain the funds and the access to where I'll be able to increase that. Open up community centers and stuff like that. But I don't want to do nothing on a traditional level. I'm not going to say I'm going to open a community center for the children because the children got help. The disabled folks, they got help. I'm talking about the people that look like they don't need no help, them be the ones that need the help. You know what I'm saying? The single mamas, the parentless. I have so many things I have written down in my little book, y'all.
So do you feel like you are living your purpose, or on that journey of living your purpose?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Every moment. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. And we appreciate that. We definitely do. And I'm glad that you're here on Living Your Purpose to be able to help others to do the same.
Can I add one other thing too to other people that they might not remember or they may feel discouraged? It's all right to be okay with the little steps. It's okay. I made some little bitty steps up to this point, right? And so I'm still not to the plateau of where I'm going to be or where some of the other people here are, right? But I've made some strides. The people that's been looking at me for a minute, they done seen just little bitty steps that I've taken and applied. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing I want to encourage people. Be all right with the little steps. Be all right with going slow because you're going to die anyway. And whether you go fast or whether you go slow, it don't matter. It's really not going to impact or change anything. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that. I'm sorry.
For those who want to come in and join in the love seat, ask her any questions, we are live here with Xanadue, interviewing her and getting to know her and dissecting her. But we do appreciate that. Okay, we got somebody coming in the love seat.
I like that name, the love seat. That's cute.
Hey, Miss
Bear. So we're interviewing.
Welcome back.
We're interviewing Xanadue.
Yes, we are.
Right.
Dum 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 dum.
Uh-oh. Okay, let me get my grip. Okay, I'm ready.
No, I'm totally kidding. It's not that deep. I wanted to add, I like asking a lot of people this in terms of if you could solve one problem in the world, what would that problem be that you would solve?
The same problem that Muammar Gaddafi was trying to solve. Nobody on this planet should live outside. Everybody should have a building that can go in and go to sleep, even if they can't pay for it, right? That would be the one problem I would solve.
Okay. And one more question, then I'm going to jump off and let somebody else, get in the love seat. Oh, what would you say, what event or what have you, however you would describe it, an event, circumstance, had the biggest impact on how you serve and how you help people in the world? And now I'll jump off.
That's what I was saying earlier. I don't think I done had no one moment. I don't know that for me because I could say being shot at was the one moment. But a lot of people get shot at and it don't really change them. Do you know what I mean? They keep getting shot at, right? So I don't think it was just that. I think it's been a collection, just watching a whole bunch of little small moments and then reflecting and then being you getting too old for the book.
How has having your son changed you from before you was to now? How has it changed you?
I don't know. Other than always having somebody to feed, now I got to teach somebody, wash some extra clothes. No, I'm just playing. I think you know what? Okay, I know how it's changed me. So we talk a lot about my delivery and my manner of communication. Now, I think having my son, with him being a baby, and actually dealing with somebody who really didn't know, and I would have to kind of soften my position and try to articulate it to him to where he can understand it. I think that's helped me a lot with communicating with other people, because even though people are grown, sometimes, you know, like we have different communicating styles. And so that actually helped me to be more patient when people are kind of a little knuckleheaded, or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's one major significant in my 20s. I was like, why they don't get this?
Oh God.
But you said you want him to see you as being a legacy, and you want him to, you want him to see the best mama that he could say that you were. But leaving a legacy is very important for our children, leaving a mark, some type of impression, and knowing that you did it with struggle in front of you. You had struggle, but you were able to make way, and you want your child to be able to know that during all that, my main focus was you, and my main focus was to leave you a mark for you to follow, and for me to be the best, whatever resources I have at this point, to do what I can for you. And I think that's really good that you did that. Right.
No, really. Can I just say this before y'all end it? I don't know how close we are to cutting off or whatever, but and I told y'all before, so it'll be redundant, but I just want to say it again, because the people who didn't see that time when I told you, they're gonna see it this time. Mm-hmm. I think what y'all do is crucial, because a lot of times, you know, especially like with social media, I think a lot of people, you know, I'm learning now, right? I'm getting hip to the game that people are using social media for their business, and they don't care too much about the playful side of it. But I would say a majority of people, you know, they come on the social media, play around, you know, you get a lot of nothing. You know, I mean, it's something, it adds value to your life because it's fun, you have a good time, and it brings up your spirit, you know, so that's good too. But when you have so much bull, it's kind of like church, you know, like when y'all come on and you have like a specific topic, something that's like relevant to like real world, what you going through, or what somebody else going through, or maybe you ain't never even been through it and ain't never heard of it before, but now you might know what you would do in the situation should it arise. Like, I really try to catch y'all on Sundays, because I really do think that I think listening to y'all has affected me a little bit. I don't even really want to admit that, because I like to take glory for all of my, you know, my stuff myself. You understand what I'm saying?
It is.
But I love y'all. But I do. I love y'all though, and I like what y'all do on here. Y'all know I'm here every week. Sometimes I get here a little late because I'm on this West Coast, and y'all do it late over there. But thank y'all for asking me. I'm very humbled, and I appreciate it.
No, thank you. Kente say you are awesome. Raheem said that she's doing a dissertation on Black motherhood and would like to interview you as a part of her research, and that's okay with her. I mean, okay with you. So this is what I'm saying to you. This is exactly why we do the interview with special individuals, because you leave a mark. There's people in here that love what you do, and regardless of whether or not you give them a little or a lot, it's inspiring. It's inspiring because people want to know more about you. Now you got an interview. Now it's so many doors that you could be able to walk through. But not only that, but people are watching and they're listening. And they're listening not just with their ears, but they're listening with their hearts. And so that's why it's so important for us to have this interview with you and to give the people what they need to hear. This is not just for us. This is for everybody. So that's why we have the show, and why it's so important that we have specific individuals. We don't just interview everybody, but specific individuals that we feel would be able to leave some type of inspiration or encouragement to others, and to be able to live in their purpose and to walk their journey. And we know it's a hard walk, but we have individuals here that walk, and it's hard. We know it's hard. We know it's tough. It's tough to be authentic. It's tough to be you. It's tough to be.
Get on my nerves, this Jay.
Huh?
I said you get on my nerves.
What happened?
You got her emotional.
Oh, I'm sorry. We know it's tough. The road is tough, and we understand it. And so that's why we have the show. The show is to help encourage others to be able to see those challenges and face those challenges and talk about those challenges so that we all can be helped. I mean, there's a lot of are hurting a lot. People are hurting. So we understand that this Sunday, that block of time, 6 to 7, is crucial because it's positive TV and it's positive reinforcement for the sick world that we live in. Do you understand? You need that. You need that. So we do appreciate you. We appreciate having you. And we appreciate you said yes to us when we did ask.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So everyone who is here live, once we go off the record, we will be sticking around for a little while for the after blab, where we get to kind of relax a little bit more. We can talk more to Xanadue, or ask questions, or just hang out for a while. If you are listening or watching on a replay on SoundCloud or YouTube, please make sure that you have subscribed if you like us. If you don't, you know what, that's cool too, but just let us know why. We really do appreciate the feedback, and we want to get better. We want to be able to do more. So if you have not subscribed to our regular followers, or somebody who's new and they like us, please do find us on YouTube and SoundCloud. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all of the good and happy things. That really helps us a lot to be able to do more for you. Visit our website at lypshow.com, where you can find everywhere that we are on the interwebs. You can contact us directly from that site. You'll be able to watch us live from that site if you have issues with Blab, and you can find all of our archives and previous shows, and more information about myself and SJ. New things are going to be added to the website very soon. We have a lot of information that's coming up, availability for speaking, merchandise.
That's very important.
It's very important.
We're collecting now. We want to be in your town. So if you want us to speak, because we're doing this your purpose now tour. We're trying to get it together. We're trying to get speakers together. We're trying to do a whole collective thing so that we can be in a town near you. If you have a school, a community, seminar, a workshop, whatever it is, we will stop by your town and we will speak regarding living your purpose. So definitely go on the website and go to your purpose now at yahoo.com.
Thank you. So we will, like I said, I'll be updating the site very, very soon. There will be merchandise available for purchase. We have our book that is coming out really soon. Oh my gosh, you guys, finally, it's coming. And so pay attention. Keep visiting the site frequently for updates, and keep in touch with us on social media, and you'll be updated on all the new and fascinating things that's happening with us. Thank you so much for joining us this week on Living Your Purpose. We'll be back next week at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, just like every week, like clockwork. I'm Danielle K. Anderson, also known as Danielle the VP. I am an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, spiritual counselor, life coach, and speaker. And it is my purpose to help people to look good, feel good, find and walk in their own purpose. And my co-host, as always,
SJ, of course, from Inner Soul Development. That's right, Inner Soul Development. I am a personal life coach and speaker, transformational speaker. It is my privilege to be here with Xanadue. And what I do is I take you off your autopilot, take you off course to your greater self. I make sure you understand that life is to be controlled, and that life should not, will not control you if you know how to do it. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. See you next Sunday for another episode, a good topic. And we want to thank Xanadue so much for allowing us to love on her and for her to love on you guys. So thank you, and have a great rest of your Sunday. And the After Blab is next. So come on board.